Hollywood's golden age. Bright lights, dazzling costumes, endless adoration, but every star's brilliance had a shadow. Behind the camera, behind the glamorous sets and red carpet, many struggled with unknown pains and tragedies. Some stories only came to light after the stars had passed away. Autopsy reports, death certificates, and secret records revealed painful truths unknown to their fans. Today, we will explore the dark, sad, and sometimes shocking details behind the scenes of cinema's greatest names. From John Wayne to Natalie Wood, from Judy Garland to Bruce Lee, Hollywood's golden age was not always as golden as it seemed. If you're ready, let's lift the curtain and take a closer look at the tragic stories of these stars. John Wayne, the legendary cowboy of Hollywood. John Wayne died in 1979 from what was officially listed as stomach and lung cancer. However, his autopsy revealed a chilling connection to his work on The Conqueror, filmed near a nuclear testing site in Utah. Out of 220 cast and crew members, 91 later developed cancer. The findings suggested that years of radiation exposure had silently claimed the life of one of cinema's strongest icons. Behind the image of the fearless Duke was a man slowly undone by the unseen consequences of a movie set. A grim reminder of how Hollywood's pursuit of spectacle sometimes came at a deadly cost. Errol Flynn, known for his swashbuckling charm and adventurous roles, Errol Flynn's real-life story ended far less glamorously. His autopsy showed that his body had been ravaged by years of alcohol abuse, cirrhosis of the liver, hardened arteries, and severe heart damage. Though the official cause was a heart attack, coroners described his internal organs as those of an elderly man twice his age. Behind the daring grin that once defined an era, Flynn's body told the story of excess, decline, and the heavy toll of fame that no camera could ever hide. Carole Lombard. Carole Lombard was the embodiment of charm and wit during Hollywood's golden age, but her life ended abruptly in 1942 in a plane crash while returning from a World War II Bond tour. The autopsy revealed multiple fractures and massive internal trauma, leaving no chance of survival. Her remains were identified through dental records, and a single ring still on her finger. Lombard's patriotism had made her a symbol of courage, but her untimely death shocked an entire nation and haunted her husband, Clark Gable, for the rest of his life. Even decades later, pieces of the wreckage and traces of her jewelry continued to be discovered on the Nevada mountainside, frozen reminders of Hollywood's brightest light extinguished too soon. Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge broke racial barriers, becoming the first black woman nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress. Yet behind the glamour was a story of pain, loneliness, and a declining career. When she died in 1965 at just 42, the autopsy revealed a mixture of antidepressants and alcohol in her system. Although officially ruled an accidental overdose, many suspected despair and exhaustion had played their part. Her body was found in her apartment, collapsed near the bathroom floor, an image that contrasted sharply with her radiant screen presence. Dandridge's death was not just the loss of a pioneer, but a grim reflection of an industry that often celebrated brilliance, but rarely protected it. Sal Mineo, a gifted actor best known for his iconic role in Rebel. Without a cause, Sal Mineo's life was tragically cut short at just 37 in 1976. On a quiet evening in Los Angeles, Mineo was walking home from a rehearsal when he was ambushed in a dimly lit alley behind his apartment. His autopsy revealed a single devastating stab wound to the heart, causing death within minutes. The attack was brutal in its efficiency, leaving little time for intervention despite witnesses hearing his screams. Initial speculation in the press suggested connections to Hollywood's seedy underworld, but investigators later determined the killing was a senseless act of robbery. Mineo's blood-stained jacket, preserved as evidence, became an enduring symbol of Hollywood's darker side, a stark contrast to the youthful charm and hopeful resurgence of a man whose career had been revitalizing after earlier setbacks. His untimely death robbed the world of not only a remarkable talent, but also a figure whose life was only beginning to regain momentum. The tragedy of Mineo's murder underscores the unpredictable cruelty that can strike even in the midst of promise and potential. Natalie Wood. The death of Natalie Wood in 1981 remains one of Hollywood's most mysterious and debated tragedies. On the night she drowned, Wood had been aboard her yacht with her husband, Robert Wagner, and co-star Christopher Walken. While initially ruled an accident, her autopsy revealed bruises on her arms and legs, and a small scratch on her face, inconsistencies that fueled decades of speculation. Toxicology reports indicated a high blood alcohol level combined with sedatives, which may have impaired her ability to react in the final moments. Questions lingered about her interactions on the boat, her relationship with Wagner, and the circumstances leading up to her fall into the water. The case was reopened in 2011 and again in 2013, yet no charges were ever filed. Wood's death captured the public imagination because of her status as Hollywood royalty, a woman whose charm, beauty, and vulnerability had captivated audiences worldwide. In death, those same qualities became a haunting emblem of uncertainty, lost potential, and the hidden dangers lurking beneath the glamour of the entertainment world. Her story remains an enduring, unresolved chapter in Hollywood's history, reflecting both the pressures of stardom and the fragility of life behind the curtain of fame. Lucille Ball, the queen of television comedy, died in 1989 from a ruptured abdominal aorta. Her autopsy revealed that her heart had weakened following emergency surgery just days earlier. Despite being 77, her body showed the resilience of a woman who had endured decades of stress and work. Doctors noted the extraordinary strain her body had endured, likely a result of lifelong smoking and the pressures of fame. The woman who made America laugh had spent her final days in pain, though she reportedly remained witty and sharp until the very end. Her death certificate listed acute aortic dissection, but for millions of fans, it felt like the world had lost its laughter itself. Ramon Novarro. Once hailed as the Latin lover of the silent film era, Ramon Novarro's end was one of Hollywood's most gruesome. In 1968, the actor was found murdered in his Los Angeles home, bound, gagged, and beaten. The autopsy revealed he had suffocated from his own blood after being tortured for hours by two young men who had come to rob him. Despite the brutality, police reports noted that many of his prized possessions remained untouched, leading to speculation about a deeper motive. Navarro's death symbolized the cruelty of a world that had turned its back on silent-era idols. The man who once rivaled Valentino died not from obscurity, but from the darker side of desire and betrayal. William Desmond Taylor. Director and actor William Desmond Taylor's 1922 murder remains one of Hollywood's oldest unsolved crimes. His autopsy revealed a single gunshot wound to the back, suggesting he was killed by someone he knew and trusted. When investigators arrived, they found the scene strangely tidy, his wallet and watch intact, but love letters and morphine missing. The case exposed scandalous affairs, drug rumors, and powerful studio cover-ups. Dozens of suspects were questioned, including actresses he had mentored, yet no one was ever charged. Taylor's murder turned Hollywood's polished veneer into a spectacle of corruption and secrecy that still fascinates crime historians a century later. William Holden, known for his rugged charm in films like Sunset Boulevard and Stalag. 17. William Holden met a quiet but tragic end in 1981. His autopsy revealed he had died from a deep head wound after falling in his apartment, alone and too intoxicated to call for help. It was estimated that he bled to death over several hours. Police found empty liquor bottles and signs that he had attempted to stop the bleeding himself. The image of Holden, a man once at the pinnacle of Hollywood's success, dying in solitude, became a haunting reflection of an industry that glorified brilliance but forgot its fallen heroes. Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow, the original blonde bombshell, died at just 26, her beauty hiding a fatal illness that few could see coming. Her autopsy revealed acute kidney failure caused by complications from scarlet fever, worsened by misdiagnosis and the limited medical knowledge of the 1930s. In the days before her death, Harlow's body swelled painfully with fluid, and she struggled with confusion, exhaustion, and severe discomfort, a far cry from the glamorous and vivacious persona adored by fans. Friends and co-workers recalled noticing subtle signs of distress, but MGM Studios, focused on preserving her star image, reportedly downplayed the severity of her condition, continuing to promote her as the shining symbol of Hollywood allure. The treatments she received, including the use of harsh medications and interventions of the era, may have inadvertently worsened her fragile state. Harlow's untimely death transformed her golden persona into a spectral memory, a vivid reminder that even the brightest stars were mortal beneath the glimmering studio lights. Her early demise cemented her as an eternal icon in Hollywood lore, eternally young, eternally blonde, forever suspended between fame and tragedy. Her story whispered as both a cautionary tale and a legend of lost potential. Judy Garland, the beloved star of The Wizard of Oz, lived a life as fragile as her trembling voice. Judy Garland's autopsy in 1969 revealed a lethal overdose of barbiturates, a grim culmination of decades of studio pressure and personal struggles. Her liver and heart showed chronic strain from long-term use of stimulants and sedatives that studios had routinely administered to keep her performing around the clock. From the age of 10, Garland endured punishing work schedules, strict dieting, and emotional manipulation designed to maintain her childlike appearance and marketable charm. Interviews with co-stars and colleagues later revealed that she often self-medicated to cope with extreme fatigue, anxiety, and the deep sense of inadequacy instilled by studio executives. Though her death was officially ruled accidental, it reflected a life marred by exploitation, neglect, and emotional trauma that no fame could ever mask. Garland's tiny frame, frail yet defiant, bore silent witness to Hollywood's relentless demands, serving as both a cautionary tale and a testament to the human cost behind the glittering facade of stardom. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Elvis Presley passed away in 1977 at just 42, leaving a world mourning the sudden loss of an icon. While the official cause was listed as heart failure, his autopsy revealed a far more complex picture. His body contained traces of more than 10 prescription drugs, including narcotics, sedatives, and painkillers. Years of long-term medication dependence, compounded by chronic health issues, insomnia, and weight complications, had steadily weakened his cardiovascular system. His personal physician, famously nicknamed Dr. Feelgood, was known for prescribing drugs liberally, contributing to the deterioration of Presley's health. The King's fame demanded a relentless touring and recording schedule, leaving little room for proper rest or medical oversight. In addition to the physical toll, Presley endured intense emotional pressures from his rise to global superstardom, and his personal life was filled with isolation and constant scrutiny. His death was not merely a medical tragedy, but a stark reminder of the perilous intersection between fame, dependency, and the unforgiving demands of a celebrity life. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's death in 1973 shocked the world, cutting short the life of a man whose charisma, talent, and physical mastery had captured global imagination. Autopsy reports listed cerebral edema, swelling of the brain, caused by an adverse reaction to a prescribed painkiller. While officially classified as death by misadventure, rumors and speculation ran rampant, including theories of heat stroke, foul play, or even supernatural intervention linked to his rapid rise in martial arts fame. Lee's passing at just 32 years old halted the meteoric trajectory of a career that bridged cultures and broke cinematic barriers. Interviews with colleagues described his obsession with training, diet, and perfection, yet even his meticulously disciplined lifestyle could not shield him from the vulnerability of the human body. His death left an indelible mark, turning Lee into a legend, not just for his achievements, but also as a cautionary symbol of ambition, intensity, and the fragility of life. Anna Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith's sudden death in 2007 underscored the deadly consequences of fame, entwined with personal vulnerability. Her autopsy revealed a cocktail of prescription medications, including methadone and benzodiazepines, leading to an accidental overdose compounded by chronic infections and flu-like symptoms. The tragedy was intensified by the recent loss of her son, Daniel, under eerily similar circumstances, casting a shadow over the final months of her life. Smith's story was one of stark contrasts, from the dizzying heights of wealth and glamour to the isolating, precarious world of medical dependency and emotional turmoil. Friends reported that she struggled with anxiety, insomnia, and ongoing health issues, often self-medicating to cope with the pressures of public life. Her passing in a quiet hotel room highlighted the vulnerability hidden behind celebrity allure and wealth, serving as a sobering reminder of how fame, excess, and medical overreach can converge with fatal consequences. The golden age of Hollywood was a symbol of a glittering and enchanting world. But as we see today, behind that glamour lay much pain, tragedy, and hidden stories. From John Wayne to Natalie Wood, from Judy Garland to Bruce Lee, each star quietly endured their own struggles and often remained alone. Death reports and autopsy records show us not only their endings, but also the harsh, sometimes cruel realities of their lives. These stories remind us that celebrities are human too, with their own vulnerabilities and losses. Hollywood's glamour may be dazzling, but sometimes the greatest tragedies are hidden behind the scenes. Today, we lifted the curtain and took a closer look at the tragic, touching, and unforgettable lives of these stars. We must remember them not only as icons, but also as human beings.